Hi, I'm Patty Davis with Crooked Tree Creations. And when I first started making wreaths, my thought was, well, put it this way. My husband, he's a man's man. And to put a girly wreath on our front door just wasn't going to cut it. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to start making wreaths and make them somewhat masculine so that my husband will be okay with something like that going on the front door. Well, since then I've put some girly wreaths on there and he's okay with it. But at the same point, it's still kind of good sometimes to have something a little more masculine hanging on your door. So what I already started is one for a hunter, because guess what? That's what my husband is. I have some, I got a lot of tiny, well, not even so much tiny, some small like this one. I have larger ones, but the larger ones are a little harder to put on a wreath because they're heavy. So this one, it doesn't stick out too far. The tines on this deer horn don't come out too far, so they can be boxed up just fine. But I wanted you to see, I just used a regular green floral wire around here, and it won't slide off the top here, okay? But I used a jute wrapped wire down here so it looks more like the grapevine. In case it's seen, I want it to look natural. I want it to look like it's just laying in there. But I'm going to put stuff over top of this here so you really can't see that wire. But this one here, it's going to be a little more difficult to hide, but I'm going to try. I used some of that jute wrapped wire here on the back. That's what I'm hanging this with. And this grapevine is from Michael's. It's only a 14-inch. And I think it's going to work out just fine. I think guys aren't going to want to have a huge wreath. So something like this is going to be good. This is going to be fall time, okay? Because really, deer hunting is in the fall. I'm just going to use fall greenery. This is not such a bright color, which I didn't want to use bright for this. I got some oak leaves in like a muted orange and the green. Okay. I have some maple leaves, also kind of muted browns and greens. And I have no idea where I found this, but it's just like a cream and brown leaves. I really like these. Obviously I used a lot of this already. This is all I have left of this one, so that's what I'm going to use. Plus I'm going to use a little bit of pine. I'm going to throw that in there. I just cut that off of a garland, pine garland, and I just cut little pieces off, and I'll just kind of stick them in between some of these flowers. And then I have pine cones. I only have 3 because this isn't going to be a very big wreath. And I'll show you. I kind of have this here, and I will show you what I did. Okay, I'm going to take some of this wire. It's really easy. Oh, okay, this one doesn't have any on there. I'm going to show you. I just kind of put this in down towards the bottom, and it kind of goes right in between all of these, like down inside there. Okay, so it doesn't fall out. And then you just twist on the other side, and it's done. So now you can twist this onto the grapevine anytime you are using like a pine wreath, your own Christmas tree. I put these on my Christmas tree every year. It's very easy. So, okay, what I'm going to start with, and I haven't decided. I made a little bow. It's a very masculine looking ribbon. It's just a small 5-loop bow because, let's just admit, bows really aren't masculine. However, with a masculine ribbon, I think it'll be okay. We'll try it. So I'm going to start with these. Now, obviously, I'm not going to use this one stem all by itself. It'll be too much hanging out there. So I am going to, actually, I'll take these two, put them together, and I'll cut that kind of right there in between. Now, something I just now noticed, usually, I'm going to point this out, usually there's like a little tip like this on here. The tip is missing on this one. So, if, yeah, the leaves could come right off if there's no tip on there. So, what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to bend it like that. Okay? You see that? That way I'm going to put both ends into the grapevine and the leaves can't go anywhere. I'm going to do that, the same thing with these two that I put together here. Bend that stem so they're going to go into the grapevine and they're not going to go anywhere. Okay? And I'm just going to use hot glue today. I'm going to use my glue gun. You could use a glue skillet, but I think I'm just going to use the glue gun today and stick these in. Now stick this right next to that one because I like, this one is more brownish, where this one has a little bit more of a brighter color. Kind of stick that right next to it. Okay, for this wreath anyway, I don't want anything sticking out too far. And I'm going to keep going with these same ones, same kind of leaves. I'll keep going around just for probably about, not even half, maybe about 1/3 of this wreath I am going to fill with these this greenery. Okay, now I'm going to start with these maple leaves that are a little bit smaller, and I'm going to see what I can get done with those. Again, kind of the same thing. There's 3 different ways to put them, 3 different levels, I guess you would say. And I'm going to do this with the top one, and these bigger leaves, I'm going to bend that stem and just kind of stick that in a little closer to the grapevine. Okay, so I like this so far. I don't know if I'm going to use these because they're a little bit on the bigger side, and I think these are good. Okay, now I'm going to put some pine in here. Again, this was cut off of a pine garland. So I'm just going to put the glue right on the end here and stick it in. Okay, I'm really liking how this is working out. And I don't mind, because this is a little more masculine, I don't mind having some of that grapevine show through here. And I definitely want to make sure that this this deer horn is still showing. So I'm trying to figure out what I did. Some of that pine I kind of wrapped over top of the wire that I had holding that on. That helps a lot. So I'm going to take some of these pine cones and decide where I want those in here. Now they're not going to be very visible because they're going to kind of blend in a little bit with the grapevine, but that's fine. Okay, I think I really like that. I'll show you a little bit closer. You can see those pine cones. You can still see the deer horn kind of through there, right? So let's see if it'll look okay with a bow. Kind of was leaving that space open. I think it's going to look okay. And I'm trying to stick the wire for the bow through the grapevine instead of around, kind of like how I did the same thing with those pine cones. Okay, I got that bow on there finally. Try to get that behind there. Okay, I think this is pretty much done already. What do you think of that? Kind of get these to go a little bit different. Pretty masculine, huh? Looks like a good hunter's wreath. I like it. I think we're good. And I'm going to stop. If I decide later on, this is something I always do, and I've said this several times, I like to take pictures. I'll stop at this point, take pictures, make sure this is what I want. If it's not exactly what I want, I will add more to it. The only thing that I might add more to I might add, a couple more leaves, smaller ones or something like that. Maybe some berries. Berries will be good. Just decide later on, if something isn't full enough on one side or something, I need to take something out, I might do that. So, but as of right now, I'm gonna stop and then I will show you the finished product here in a sec. Thanks for watching. My name is Patty Davis and I will see you in our next video.